What's up, Pokefans? This is Hyper Paradox, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Trading Card Game. In the last episode, we defeated Ken, we defeated Ronald, and earned a promotional Super Energy Retrieval card. And in this episode, we're going to, go ahead and take on the Science Club. But before we do, I actually want to show you something. You might remember that in the last video, I was in the Challenge Hall because the second Challenge Cup was going on. I went and won the Challenge Cup off-screen, and this is the prize you get for winning the second Challenge Cup. It's a level 8 promotional Mew. It's got a very useful Pokemon power called Neutralizing Shield, which essentially means that all effects of attacks, including damage, done by evolved Pokemon is negated. So essentially means that evolved Pokemon cannot harm Mew in any way. Very, very useful. But now that that's taken care of, let's go ahead and take on the Science Club. And let's start with this person right here. The machine. It's not quite working right. Unlike Dr. Mason's machine, this machine is very complicated. And, yeah, let's duel against him. So let's take on Science Club member David and his lovely Nidoran deck. Now, when it says by Science when the Science Club says they use Science Pokemon, it essentially means that they use Poison-type Pokemon, like Coughing, Ekans, Grimer, or Nidoran in this case. And unfortunately, I only have a Pidgey. But now I have Tauros, so that's good. In fact, I'm actually going to, I'm actually going to start, powering up Tauros. Because I can just merely use my switch card to switch Pidgey with Tauros. Okay, there we go. So as the name of David's deck implies, he likes to use the Nidoran families. Both of them, actually. In their basic forms, they're not that threatening. Once they evolve, however, they can definitely pose a threat. And speaking of evolving, I'm going to go ahead and evolve Pidgey into Pidgeotto, and finish this Tauros off with Stomp. Okay, good. So he took out Nidoran Male. Nidoran Male really isn't that threatening because its attack requires a coin toss. And also, but the female one has actually pretty high HP. I think it has 60 HP. And it can also use Call for Family to place more Nidoran on the bench. I should also probably mention their evolved forms as well. I mean, their final evolved forms. Nidoking has Thrash, which works like Electabuzz's Thunder Punch, and it also has Toxic, which poisons you. But instead of losing 10 HP, you lose 20 HP every turn. It's the only Pokemon that can do that. As for Nidoqueen, it can inflict 50 damage for 4 energy, and it also has an attack called Boyfriends. That does 20 damage plus 10 more damage for each Nidoking in play. But if you can knock them out in their basic forms, you really won't have anything to worry about. See, that's what I mentioned earlier. The female Nidoran can use Call for Family to fill the bench up with more Nidos. So, I'm actually going to put Mr. Mime on here, even though he's really not going to be of much help in this fight. So let's see if Stomp can do some more damage. Unfortunately, it didn't. He's also got other cards like Farfetch'd and Pinsir, as well. Now what I need to... I'm actually going to take a chance and see if I can get the heads coin toss with this plus power. Alright, so Mr. Mime is all powered up. So let's use Stomp. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And what else is he gonna do? Okay, he's gonna go for the Fury Swipes. Fury Swipes, you flip 3 coins and get 10 damage for each heads. Okay, so let's see what's on David's bench. Okay, so he's got 2 Nidoran males. He's also got a Pinsir and a Nidoran female. That Pinsir is worrying me, because if he can get enough energy on that thing, it can do some real damage. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna finish off this Nidoran with Stomp. Alright, there we go. Ooh, we got Alakazam. He's really not gonna be of help in this fight, though, because Tauros is actually doing quite nicely. Alright. Okay, so it's 20 more damage. The good news is now I can actually knock it out with Rampage. So I'm actually going to attach another Psychic Energy to Ghastly. Yes, because Science Pokemon and Poison Pokemon are one and the same, a Psychic Pokemon deck is the way to go. But keep in mind that some of the members have colorless energy, colorless Pokemon as well. Overall, David, as long as you knock out his Nidos early, David is not that much trouble. My theory is that the machine's malfunctioning caused it. What is it with duelists in this game making up lame excuses as to why they lost? It's a mystery to me. And speaking of mystery, let's see what we got. Vileplume, Persian, Jolteon, Gloom, And we have another mystery booster pack. We'll get another Alakazam. Alright, so, now that we've defeated David, let's take on the second member. We research Pokemon cards here at the Science Club, especially Science Pokemon cards. That seems logical. Alright, so let's take on Science Club member Eric and his Poison deck. As the name of his deck implies, Eric likes to use Pokemon that can poison opponents. However, I have Snorlax in my hand, who is the ultimate poison counter. Alright, and for some reason I forgot to set it on the bench. Oh well. Okay, so he's got Ekans on there. But yeah, Eric... I think all of Eric's Pokemon have the ability to poison the opponent, which can be rather annoying and dangerous. However, I have a full heal, so I have nothing to worry about. And also, I've got this Haunter. I'm gonna set Snorlax on the bench, and let's attack with Lick. By the way, I'm actually using the Fossil Ghastly, which is much better than the base Ghastly, which is widely considered to be one of the worst cards ever. And oh dear, he's got Arbok. Terror Strike. Okay, since he got heads, he can switch my Pokemon. Now, Snorlax is the kind of Pokemon to use in this duel, and that's mainly because of thick-skinned, which essentially means he can't poison me. The bad news is, however, is that Snorlax requires 4 energy to attack. Okay, good. I actually wanted him to switch. Because now I can power up Haunter, so he can use Nightmare. Nightmare, you put the opponent to sleep, essentially. But Haunter, and I'm actually using the Fossil Haunter rather than the base Haunter. It does have less HP, but in my opinion, it works much better. Because this Haunter has a Pokemon power called Transparency, and what that means is that your opponent needs to get a coin toss right in order to make an attack connect. So it's very, very useful. I do do have some energy surges, and I have a Pokemon trader. So I might, if I draw a Pokemon, I think I'm actually gonna go see if I can get my Gengar. Alright, another Ekans. Alright, so it's going for Wrap, and good. Okay, and Transparency will also block secondary effects, so I didn't get paralyzed from that attack. Okay, let's attack Ekans with Nightmare. Let's see how much it does. Well, actually, I know, it's 20 damage due to weakness. Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of Ekans in his deck, and I think he has Coughing and Wheezing in his deck as well. Alright, so Transparency succeeded again. And let's finish this Ekans off with Nightmare. Okay, excellent. Alright, we have another Ghastly. So yeah, I was right, he does have Coughing. And he's got Wheezing as well. Okay, come on. Oh, man. Alright. Oh, good, Pidgeot. So what I can actually do is I can trade in this Ghastly and see if I have Gengar in my deck, and it's right there. Excellent. So now we have Gengar. Gengar has like the Fossil Hunter, Gengar has a Pokemon power known as Curse. It lets you exchange one. It lets you move a damage counter from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another, but just one, and you can even use it to knock out the opponent. It can also use Dark Mind, does 30 damage, and inflicts 10 damage to another Pokemon on your opponent's bench. But since he doesn't have any Pokemon on his bench, it doesn't work, and more importantly, I win. So, good try, Eric, but not good enough. I can't believe my Science Pokemon deck could lose. Believe it, Eric. And we get an Evolution pack. And we get the Jungle Vaporeon. What else do we get? We also get a Nidoking. I'm not sure if I actually have a Nidoking. Okay, I must research this further. And I'm running a bit low on time. I'm already up to about 13 minutes. So I'm gonna end the video right here. Next time on Let's Play Pokemon Trading Card Game, we're going to take on the third member of the Science Club, and maybe even the Master. So if you like my videos, hit that big red subscribe button, and subscribe to my channel, or give me a like. For now, this is Hyper Paradox, signing off.